The human spacecraft entered the orbit of the Death World with a quiet hum, its sleek silver body reflecting the pale light of the distant sun. The alien spectators below watched from high towers and floating platforms, their many eyes filled with curiosity and amusement. None of them had ever seen a human prototype in person, and most believed it would fail before even stepping onto the arena. The air around the landing zone was thick with tension. Mixed with laughter and mocking whispers, the aliens were tall, strong, and fearsome, their muscles like steel, their faces twisted in contempt. "Look at it," one growled, pointing at the small human standing in the open hatch. "This tiny thing thinks it can fight our champion." The human stepped out slowly, every movement calm and deliberate. Its armor glinted under the twin suns, but it looked fragile compared to the massive warriors around. The crowd laughed louder, some throwing small objects, just to see the human dodge. The human did not respond, its eyes scanning the arena, calm, calculating. There was no fear in its gaze, only focus. A voice echoed across the arena, deep and commanding. "This is Earth's first prototype." Pathetic. The aliens cheered and jeered, stamping their feet and waving their arms. The human did not flinch. Instead it bent slightly, testing the ground beneath its feet, preparing for what was coming. One of the larger aliens stepped forward, flexing its enormous arms. "I will fight first. Show this weakling the power of a true Death World warrior," it roared. The crowd roared even louder, anticipating a quick victory. They had all seen humans before in simulations, and the thought of one defeating their champion was impossible. The human remained silent, its chest rising and falling slowly. Its hands relaxed but ready. There was a strange stillness in the air, like the calm before a storm. The aliens began to shout and wave, trying to intimidate the human, but no matter how loud they got, the human did not move, did not speak, did not blink. The champion warrior lunged forward suddenly, massive fists swinging. The crowd gasped in excitement. Sure, the human would be crushed instantly, but the human moved with surprising speed, rolling to the side and avoiding the first blow. Its movements were smooth, almost effortless, causing whispers of shock to spread through the audience. "Impossible," one alien shouted, stepping back. "How can it move so fast?" Another alien shook its head in disbelief. "Earth creatures are weak in body and mind, yet this one, it is different." The human stood, brushing dust from its armor, unscathed, the faintest smile on its lips. The crowd fell silent for a moment, shocked by the unexpected agility of the small human. But soon, laughter returned, louder than before, as they believed this was just luck. "It cannot win. It is only a prototype," they yelled, trying to mock its calm confidence. The human looked up at the towering aliens, its eyes scanning every face, every movement. It knew what it had to do. The challenge was coming soon, and it was ready. The aliens did not yet understand that this human was not just another weak creature from Earth. It was something entirely new, something no one could predict. Above the arena, the twin suns began to set, casting long shadows across the ground. The human remained motionless for a moment, watching, calculating, waiting for the true test. The alien crowd could only chatter and laugh, unaware that the fight of their lives was about to begin. And in that moment, the human prototype became more than just a curiosity. It became a storm waiting to break, a force that would shock the Death World. The mockery continued, but the calm in the human's eyes promised one thing. It would not be laughed at for long. The arena was massive, stretching as far as the eye could see, filled with towering alien structures and floating platforms. The air buzzed with anticipation, the alien crowd chattering excitedly, waiting for the fight to begin. At the center, the human stood alone, calm and focused. While shadows of the massive Death World champion loomed above, the alien leader, a creature twice the size of any warrior in the arena, stepped forward, its voice echoing like thunder. "This is the so-called prototype from Earth," it bellowed. "It thinks it can survive in our world, fight in our arena. Is that correct?" The human said nothing, its eyes never leaving the towering figure before it. A low murmur spread across the crowd, questioning the silence. Some aliens snickered, others growled in impatience. But the human's calmness only made them uneasy. "You will face my champion," the leader continued, gesturing toward a massive warrior clad in jagged black armor. Its muscles bulged like mountains, and its eyes glowed red with a deadly hunger. The crowd erupted in cheers, chanting the champion's name, confident this would be a short and easy battle. The human took a slow step forward, its gaze fixed on the champion. Its movements were deliberate, showing no fear. Its small frame seemed almost fragile compared to the giant. Yet there was something in its posture that made even the bravest alien hesitate. The champion roared, a sound like boulders crashing, and charged forward. The ground trembled beneath its heavy steps, sending small rocks and dust into the air. The alien crowd cheered loudly, certain the human would be crushed in seconds, but the human did not flinch, did not step back. It waited, watching carefully for the first opening. Time seemed to slow as the champion swung its massive arms, striking with deadly force. The human ducked and rolled with a speed no alien expected, narrowly avoiding the blow. Sparks flew where the champion's claws hit the ground, sending a warning to the crowd. They had underestimated the human. And now, doubt began to creep into their excitement. Impossible, one alien shouted, clutching its head. How can this creature move like that? It is only a prototype. Another whispered. Earth is weak, yet this one, it is different. Too fast, too clever. The human rose to its feet, eyes fixed on the champion, its muscles tensed like a spring ready to strike. It moved with purpose, every step calculated, every motion precise. The arena seemed to shrink around them as if the fight itself bent reality. The champion swung again, faster this time, aiming to crush the human in a single strike. But the human anticipated the attack, sidestepping and using the champion's own momentum against it. The crowd gasped, some cheering, some silent in disbelief. The small human had survived the first onslaught, and it had done so with style. The alien leader banged its staff on the ground, sending a shockwave through the arena. Enough of this delay. It roared, show us your true power, human. Fight, or admit defeat now. The human's lips curled into a small, confident smile. Its calmness was unshakable. Its strength was quiet but real. The crowd was tense, the air thick with anticipation. All eyes were on the human, all ears waiting. For the first real sign of power, the champion roared and raised its fists, ready for a final attack in this first round. The human crouched slightly, poised, calculating, waiting for the exact moment to strike. And then, with a speed and precision that no alien expected, the human moved, dodging and countering, landing a blow that shook the champion back a step. The alien crowd fell silent, eyes wide in shock. For the first time, they saw the prototype not as weak, but as a real threat. A whisper spread through the audience. It may actually win. The leader's expression darkened, realizing the challenge had only just begun. And in that moment, the human prototype proved something important. It was not here to survive. It was here to dominate. The arena shook with the force of anticipation. Every alien eye fixed on the human and the massive Death World champion. A hush fell over the crowd, the usual laughter replaced by a tense silence. The champion flexed its enormous muscles and let out a roar that echoed across the towers, ready to crush the human instantly. The human crouched slightly, its gaze locked on the champion, every sense alert. It had studied the warrior from the first moment it entered the arena, and it knew exactly how to survive. The champion lunged forward with a swing of its massive fists, trying to end the fight in a single blow, but the human moved with astonishing speed, rolling to the side and narrowly avoiding the strike. Sparks flew as the champion's claws dug into the ground, leaving deep grooves. The crowd gasped, their confidence shaken for the first time. Impossible, one alien shouted. It moves faster than anything we have seen. The human sprang to its feet, circling the champion carefully. Its movements precise and deliberate. Every dodge, every step was calculated to exploit the champion's size and strength. The alien spectators whispered among themselves, doubt creeping into their minds. Could this small human really defeat the mighty warrior? The champion swung again, this time aiming to crush the human from above. Its roar deafening, its eyes burning red with rage. But the human anticipated the attack, ducking under the massive arm and landing a swift strike to the champion's side. The force was enough to stagger the giant, sending a shockwave through the arena. Some aliens began to murmur nervously. It is not just fast, it is strong, too. The leader banged its staff on the ground, sending a warning shock through the arena. Do not underestimate it. Show your true power. The champion roared. Again, swinging its fists in a flurry of attacks, trying to overwhelm the human. The human ducked, twisted, and countered, landing small but precise strikes to pressure points. Every hit was calculated, not to destroy, but to weaken and control the fight. The crowd leaned forward, unable to look away. Their laughter from earlier was gone, replaced by awe and fear. Suddenly, the champion tried a crushing overhead strike, aiming to end the fight in one final blow. The human jumped, flipped backward, and landed lightly behind it. The crowd gasped at the speed. It is dodging everything, one alien whispered, disbelief in its voice. The human seized the moment, striking the champion's unprotected flank with a powerful blow. The giant staggered, letting out a roar of surprise. Its red eyes widened as it realized this was no ordinary human. This small Earth prototype was intelligent, fast, and deadly, all at once. The alien leader slammed its staff down again, shaking the arena. Enough delays. Finish it. But the human did not panic. Its calmness was unshakable, and its strategy flawless. It knew the fight was far from over, yet it was already gaining the upper hand. The champion swung wildly, frustration growing, while the human moved with grace and precision, using the giant's own momentum. It dodged and countered, landing a series of rapid strikes that stunned the crowd. The aliens were silent, some holding their heads in disbelief, others frozen in shock. The first clash ended with the champion staggering, breathing heavily, and the human standing perfectly balanced, unscathed. The crowd stared, unable to speak, their cheers replaced by whispers. Earth, humans, they are not weak, they are different. The human crouched slightly, eyes scanning the arena once more, ready for the next move. Its calm determination had won the first round, but the fight was far from over. Suspense filled the air as the alien leader and the crowd realized this prototype was more than just a failed experiment. It was the beginning of a legend, a storm the Death World would never forget. The arena trembled with tension as the champion struggled to regain its balance. The crowd, once confident, now watched in stunned silence, their cheers replaced by whispers of disbelief. The human stood perfectly still, breathing evenly, every muscle ready. Its calmness only made the giant angrier. The champion roared, swinging its massive arms in a desperate attempt to overpower the human. But every attack was met with agility and intelligence. The human dodged, twisted, and countered with strikes aimed at weak points. Not a single movement was wasted. Every strike was precise, calculated, and deadly. The aliens stared, unable to believe their eyes. It is using strategy. It is not just fast, it is clever, one whispered. The leader slammed its staff again. Enough games. Show your true strength, human, or admit defeat now. The human took a step forward, its eyes locking on the champion, and then, suddenly, it attacked with a speed that no one expected, landing blow after blow, each one measured, each hit staggering the giant further. The champion stumbled, unaccustomed to an opponent who could not be intimidated by sheer size. The crowd gasped at every movement, their fear growing with each strike. The champion roared, trying to swing with all its might. But the human was always one step ahead, ducking under the giant's arms, striking at exposed joints, using the momentum of the massive creature against it. A hush fell over the arena as the human landed a powerful strike that sent the champion crashing into the ground. Dust and rocks flew into the air. The alien spectators could hardly believe what they saw. The prototype from Earth, small and seemingly fragile, had dominated a Deathworld champion with strength and strategy combined. Some of the aliens began to whisper among themselves, fear and awe mixing in their voices. This is not a prototype. This is something else, one muttered. Another shook its head in disbelief. Earth has hidden power. Power we never expected. The leader glared at the human, realizing that brute force alone would not win this fight. You are clever, human. I will give you that, it said, its voice low and dangerous. But do not think this is over. Fight with all you have, or face the consequences. The human crouched slightly, ready, its eyes sharp, calculating, every movement deliberate. It had already learned the giant's patterns, anticipating every strike, its calm confidence unnerved. The champion further. The alien crowd could feel the shift in power, a sudden tension electrifying the air. The champion lunged with fury, swinging arms and claws with deadly speed, but the human moved like a shadow, dodging and countering, It strikes precise, hitting vital points, each blow sending shockwaves through the giant. The massive creature faltered, realizing for the first time that it might lose. The human leaped, striking from above, landing a blow that threw the champion off balance completely. The giant fell onto one knee, breathing heavily, its red eyes wide with shock. The crowd gasped, whispering in disbelief. It cannot be. A human defeated a Death World champion. The human stood over the staggering giant, calm and steady, its eyes scanning the arena, every alien watching in awe. The leader raised its staff, a warning. But even it could not hide the respect forming in its gaze. "You're stronger than we imagined," the leader admitted, voice low. "Earth humans, they are not weak, they're extraordinary." The human did not speak, simply standing, the calm before the final moments of the fight. The arena was silent except for the heavy breaths of the champion, dust settling around them. The tide had turned. The human now completely in control. Every alien in the crowd realized one thing. Earth had sent something entirely different, something far beyond a simple prototype, and in that moment, the human proved it was not just surviving, it was dominating. The Death World would remember this day, the day a small human stood undefeated against the mightiest champion, and the final test was still ahead, a conclusion that would leave the galaxy in awe. The dust settled across the arena as the champion lay on one knee, its massive chest heaving. The crowd was silent, staring in disbelief at the small human standing tall in the center. Its calm posture and steady breathing spoke of absolute control. The leader of the aliens raised its staff, its eyes wide, finally realizing that this human was unlike any they had ever seen. The human stepped forward slowly, each movement deliberate and confident. Its gaze scanned the arena, observing the fear, awe, and respect forming across the alien spectators. The champion tried to rise, but its legs trembled, its body battered, and unprepared for the human's strength and intelligence. A low murmur spread through the crowd. "It has won. The human has won," whispered one alien, unable to believe their own eyes. Others stared in stunned silence, trying to understand how a prototype from Earth could defeat their strongest warrior. The human looked down at the fallen champion, then slowly extended a hand, not in mercy, but as a gesture of dominance and respect. The giant struggled to its feet, finally accepting the human's presence, its red eyes dimmed with realization. Respect, replacing the rage it had felt moments ago. The alien leader stepped forward, its staff lowered. "Earth humans, we underestimated you," it said, voice steady but filled with awe. "This day will be remembered. Your species is extraordinary." The human said nothing, only standing tall, the calmest figure in the arena. Its victory was quiet but undeniable. Every alien present understood that this small Earth prototype had rewritten what they believed possible. The crowd erupted in a mixture of shock and admiration, cheering loudly. Their laughter of mockery from the first moments of the fight was gone, replaced by genuine respect. The human turned walking slowly toward the edge of the arena. Every step deliberate, every movement radiated confidence and silent power. The twin suns above cast long shadows across the ground, highlighting the human's calm dominance. Even the champion, once thought unbeatable, now walked behind it with a sense of reluctant respect. The leader addressed the crowd, its voice echoing across the towers. "Witness this, all of you. The human is not weak. It is cunning, it is strong, it is the future. We will remember this day. The prototype from Earth has proven that our assumptions were wrong." The crowd roared, not in mockery, but in recognition of the human's extraordinary abilities. The human stopped and looked toward the sky, as if contemplating the battles yet to come. Its expression was unreadable, calm, yet determined. This victory was only the beginning, a sign of what Earth could achieve in the galaxy. The Death World had learned a lesson that could not be forgotten. Humans were not to be underestimated. As the crowd slowly dispersed, whispers of awe and fear mixed in the air. The human, it is more than a prototype. It is a legend. Earth is far stronger than we imagined. The human stood silently, victorious, watching the reactions of the aliens around. Its presence alone was a statement, a promise that Earth would not bow to anyone. And in that moment, the arena was no longer just a place of battle. It had become a stage for a legend. The human prototype had proven that strength was not only in muscle, but in intelligence, courage, and determination. The Death World would remember this day, and so would the galaxy. The human turned once more, walking from the arena, leaving a